Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, October 26th, and welcome to GuesstiMania. So, obviously, those of you that are familiar, this I think is the third or second, I don't even know. But every Sunday, we will go through all of the YieldMax funds and figure out what they're going to pay. It's Guestimania because it's pretty much like it's like a Royal Rumble in a sense. So, but Royal Rumble doesn't sound as cool as WrestleMania. So, hence Guestimania. So here we go. All right. The visual is a little different, as mentioned in a previous video. I am away, so I don't have the quite the same setup. I am on the laptop, luckily, so I do have that going, and it's not going to be the same. Locked in a room, bent over, it's just not a comfortable, feeling or look. But we getting the video out. That's what matters, right? So let's get to it. All right, Bitcoin. Let's check you out, brah. You're at 112, better than yesterday. Yesterday was 111. In fact, if you look here at 5:15 a.m., it was 111, and then it jumped at 5:30. So that's some good news right there. Someone woke up in the morning, say, "Yeah, let me buy some Bitcoin. Let me buy a chunk of Bitcoin." So it's moving in the right direction, we'll say. And yeah. So let's. I think I saw audio was confirmed. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, brother. Thank you all. All right. So what does it say? Why is it showing our names like this? Yeah, it's because the setup. I'm sharing one screen. So this is all I can see. So do you see what I see? So you see what I see, if you get what I'm saying. All right. So let's get to the main event here. But real quick, I was just kind of setting this up. I'm working on some stats here. So we got assets. Oh, I got to get the zoom for you guys. I think 150 is going to have to work for today. So here, if you're just curious, like the biggest funds of, by assets under management, MSTY still number one, ULTY number two, NVDY, CONY, TSLY, we'll just kind of call them, 3A, 3B, 3C. Although NVIDIA's, they got a big jump start. YMAX is right behind though. YMAX is about to hit a bill for sure. And then PLTY is going to hit a bill. It's just a matter of time, I think. And then there's everyone else, right? And then it goes down. So I kind of like, when I thought of Guestimania for this week, like these suckers down here, I kind of did them already. So I'll read them off, but I'm not going to like do the nitty gritty fun on those. I'm just going to do the fun like on the, these top, these awesome, these awesome peeps over there. And then I did sort this for you guys. So if you are curious, who is the highest IVer of the bunch? It's Circle. Circle is, it's the Circle Fund, which is Circo or whatever the heck it's called. I should probably add the ETF name, actually. Now I'm looking at this. What the hell is this? Where'd this come from? This is not a fund. Upstart. What the? Hold on, I gotta check now. See, is that on here? Under ULTY. Oh, it's under ULTY. Duh. All right, so I can I don't want to pick up that line actually. So whatever, it's picking up Upstart from ULTY, but obviously Upstart's very volatile. So yeah, and then we got Hims, Mara, Reddit. Anyway, I'll work on that. So let's move on, and let's go to Realize 2. All right, so this is really the moneymaker here, right? This is where they make money each and every day. So I captured Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you got the whole week. And then if I know the signage sucks, I'll fix it one day, I swear. But the negative is a credit, which means income, all right? Whether you like it or not. All right, so we show that ABNY, they made money. AIYY, they made money. And when I say made money, we're talking about realized income. We're not talking about like, you know, we're not mentioning the unrealized because a lot goes on that they didn't cash out on, right? There's a lot in the holdings that could have done good this week, but we're not recognizing it because it's not an executed trade. So these are basically the executed trades and how much they made for each. Carvani, man, brah, what the heck? So 1.2 mil. So you could see, you know, a lot of them did make money overall for the week. So what we do from there is we take those and we just compare it to the outstanding shares. And then we calculate how much income that comes to per share. And then that's used when looking at the GuesstiMania tab, the most important tab. And then we figure out what they're going to pay. All right. So you guys ready? Let me go check again. I gotta check back the chat. I hate how this is. Like I can never do videos on one screen anymore. I mean, maybe I'm turning bougie because again, remember I only used to make videos on the phone, and then I upgraded to the laptop at some point, and now I'm complaining about just the laptop, right? So again, the multi-screen setup is just it does make it easier to do more things, you know, because you are limited. Like you guys will see literally everything that I do, which I guess is fine, right? That's always how it was on the phone anyway. But anyway, let's do this. All right, so YMAX, I already filled the group one. I already filled in too. Sorry, guys. I won't go through. Well, YMAX, um, yeah, nothing special there. Actually, YMAX and YMAG, I tried to play around with it, but I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything special with them going forward. But I'm gonna give YMAX 17 cents, 71% yield, and then YMAG 20 cents, 68% yield. ULTY, you know, again, I did pull their IV. This is their average IV, right, from their holdings, right? So you get the holdings, you get the IV of every single holding, and then you average it out, and it comes to 99%, and that is a 9-cent payment. And good thing, because I was going to give them 9 cents anyway, right? Now, I think it came to 9 cents, right? Yeah, it's right here. Duh. So I do have the IV estimate calc is right here. You can see I don't have one for YMAX and YMAG. I may in the future. I haven't really got there. Again, everything's a freaking work in progress lately. All right, then we got feet. You can see I kind of got a formula here. So feet, let me just show you. Feet owns certain funds. So you'd have to go to the holdings to see, you know, I know a lot of you may not even care about feet, but if I have to explain this or else you're not gonna, you know, because I did do some effort on feet. I want to make sure we get, you know, we know it's not a freaking, well, it is still a wag, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so here's feet. Obviously, these are the funds they own: CONY, CONY, HOOY, NVDY, Ready. Okay, so you know, since they own those funds, assuming they owned them last week through ex dividend date distribution and all that crap. I need water already. Those are the funds you're getting paid on, right? So, because if you own feet, you own these funds. And if you own these funds, these are the payments you're getting. Make sense? Great. So now we go here, and what do? Actually, I should have put that here, not here, right? But whatever. So I added what they paid. So I got to go down here. Where is it? Do. So you can see I added, okay, AMZ. Was AMZ one of them? SNOY, Berksey, Abney. What the hell? No, this is not. Did I move? I must have resorted. Oh my goodness. This is not good. All right. Give me a sec. Give me a second. What the hell does feet own? CONY, CONY, HOOY. CONY. Do like a light. CONY. There's CONY. Light blue. Where's HOOY? HOOY, where the hell are you? It's recent. No, it's a big. Yeah, we're sorted by assets under management. That's why I did a resort and it screwed up the whole thing. Damn freaking pivot table crap. All right. Who we say? HOOY. They also own Nefly and Ready. Well, now I guess you can see what I did, right? So Nefly's a pretty big fund. Yeah, they're right there, and then Ready should be at the bottom because they're pretty new. RDDY. There you go, 60 cents. All right, so I have to fix now the calculation to see if it makes sense. So if we go here, where the hell's feet? Here, I have to fix all this, right? So now we're going to add CONY plus HOOY plus Nefly plus Sivny plus RDD. Yeah, that's 5, right? Yeah, that's 5 of the funds. So you take 5 distributions and you divide it by 5. What do you get? What is that on my laptop? All right, there you go. 23 cents. No, sorry, 38 cents. 38 cents would be a 64% yield, and they paid 35 cents last time. So you know what? I'm going with it, brah. I'm going with it. And I believe, again, I believe 5e owns approximately, when I calculated, it was about 57%. But 5e should have 60% high yield funds and 40% underlyings. So I multiplied the 38 by 60% to give them a 23-cent distribution. Obviously, if you look at the last payment, I don't understand what happened there. I don't really care at this point, to be honest. It is what it is, but I'm not going by what happened last time because obviously something got screwed up. And if this happens again, then obviously I have to go back and say, okay, what the hell's going on here, right? But I think it was just maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know. All right, let me just check, make sure everything's rolling smoothly. Good morning to all of you. By the way, we have 180 of you. This is on YouTube and X. It's GuesstiMania. It's not going to be probably as loud, right? And crazy as usual, because the louder I go, the children will come up here and annoy the crap out of me because they'll know I'm on YouTube and they like to be obnoxious, especially when they're with their cousin. Anyway, so let's get to it. All right, so what do we got? We got feet and 5e. All right, we did that. So 5e is what, 33% yield. Let's move on. LFGY. So for, again, LFGY, I'm not going to pull up the holdings, but I already averaged it for you guys. The average IV on LFGY is 80%. That would pay a 55-cent distribution. So I just rounded that up to 56 cents. GPTY, their average IV on the funds or on the holdings, 49%. That would be a 45-cent payment. I give them 46. Again, these are kind of in line with the last payment too. So I don't see how this could be wrong, to be honest, right? I feel like we could be right on those, but we'll see. SDTY, again, these are whatever, man. I give them 18 cents. QDTY, 33 cents. RDTY, 40 cents. Chippity Doodah. Again, one of the best performing funds. Again, I got to show the love and appreciation for this man. 58 bucks, bro. 58 bucks. They launched at 50. They've been paying distribution. Like, what the hell are we doing if we're not in this fund? I'm not in this fund because I'm a jackass. I have to get into this fund because it's whooping ass everywhere. But Chippity Doodah, they have a 51% IV. If you make that essentially the yield, you'll get a 57-cent. I give them 58. All right. Up next is Salty. Salty has an average IV of 89%. That's a 65-cent payment. However, I looked at the last payment. They gave him 62. So I ended up at 61. So is that fair? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll just give him 62 again, actually. We'll give him a bore. Make it like ULTY. Same payment every freaking week. All right. Moving on to the main event. It's time. All right. So, actually, we got to do Bruce Buffer. I know I said I wasn't going to do any wrestling. No, it's yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. No, I will do that another time. But I don't really even have the energy. I only had 1 cup of coffee. Let me check on the comments. How's everyone doing? They said They said creation of shares is why Fabi was more. Oh, so, so there's more people jumped in, I guess. Okay. All right. Well, I never really thought that mattered. I mean, maybe it was just a big jump. But thank you, Coasty Dividends. That sounds like a YouTube channel. Are you a YouTuber? Good morning, Dylan. My phone keeps cutting out. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Hopefully, it's not me. But what for Bruce Buffer? All right. Anyway, let's continue here. We're moving slow here. This is a slow kind of guesstimania video. All right, what's Misty gonna pay? Honestly, I don't even freaking know. I didn't even look at this at all. But first, we're gonna do two things. I'm not even gonna look at the synthetic on paper right now. We're just gonna look at the gains per share. They went down. I'm not adding back the distro, by the way. I'm just gonna do, the what is it? The last. I'm sorry, open Monday price to. Actually, should I capture the last Friday price? No. Yeah, it should be Friday to Friday, right? Why am I not doing Friday to Friday? Hmm. Yeah, because 10/20 was Monday. I don't know. I'll fix it next time. Again, I actually, if I don't fix it now, I'll probably forget. But regardless, it probably not too because we want the aftermarket and the pre-market. But it did. We're just showing Monday open at 12.15. They did go down 42 cents per share. But if I go to the realized two, we can see how much income they made per share. They did make income. They made 6 cents per share. So that's not really going to help make or break us. You could see the last payment was 21 cents. I think I did lowball them. But look at the IV, man. The IV is looking at a 14-cent payment. So I don't really know what to do with this one, to be honest. I mean, they're not. My guess, it's not going to be 14, but it's not going to be 21 either. It's maybe like 17 in the mid. That's a 75% guesstimate yield. Their IV is sitting at 61. They had a higher IV too. So I don't know, man. 17 cents because they did pay 21. It makes you think maybe they're juicing it up a little bit, just a little bit, because it is Misty after all. They are Misty. They are the show. All right, we'll leave 17 cents. Let's go on to NVDY. Let's see how you doing, NVDY. Kind of need to like shrink these cells here a little bit. There we go. Is that better? Guesstimate accuracy. Who cares about guesstimate accuracy? All right, let's get rid of this stupid cell. And we don't even need actual, well, I guess we can keep actual yield, but that's based on the prior payment. All right, let's look at NVDY. Do we get everything on the screen? No. You know what? I'm going to get rid of actual yield. There you go. All right, good. All right, so up next is NVDY. They went up about 19 cents per share from the Monday. Let's take a look at realized two. Oh, I have to highlight it as I go through process of elimination. NVDY, how you doing? Where you at here? There you go. They made 6 cents per share. Very exciting. Not. This suit is black not. All right, let's see. Let's going on right here. NVDY. They paid 12 cents last time. Based on the IV, we're looking at 14 cents. I'm gonna give them 14 cents because they went up 19 cents per share. So they should get that 14 cents right there. All right, CONY paid 9 cents last time around. They moved up 9 cents. Though they recovered that 9 cent. That's pretty nice. So now let's go to the money. How much realized income did they make? They made 7 cents. So that's good too. We like it. We like that. All right. So what are they going to pay? Again, they paid 9 cents last time. You know what they're going to pay? 9 cents this time. There you go, buddy. 71% yielder. Their IV sits at 66%. All right. T to the S to the L to the Y. They went down in share price about 19 cents. Let's see if they had any realized income. Let's scroll down here, over here now. TSLY. There you go. They made money, but not enough. There's a lot of outstanding shares there, so that doesn't even round to a penny. So nothing to tell us anything like special there. Their IV estimate is sitting at 8 cents. They paid 16. What? Paid 16 cents? What in the hell? That don't seem right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened last time, but again, it's yeah, 19. That was for two payments, which average around 10. So I'm not sure what where the 16 cents. Maybe they just had a good week. So I'm not going to fall for that. So I'm just going to give them 10 cents. All right. I'm going to give them 10 cents, which is more than the guesstimate yield. It's a 62% yielder. Their IV sits at 50. All right. Because they did drop, right? They did drop. Well, they dropped and they didn't. So again, this is a tough one. Earnings is over, right? Earnings play is over. The premium from the earnings it's not there anymore, but they were able to capture some of that, right, for this week. So we have to keep that in mind. All right, Plady, how you doing? How you doing, Plady? Where we at? Where we at here? They went. Oh my goodness, they went up $1.56 per share. This fund is insane in the membrane. Let's see if they actually made money though. Again, we got alphabetical order up in here. It's pretty good. It's not rounding to anything, right? It makes me think my spreadsheet's broken, but yeah, we'll see. I love how they're still in the $60 range, by the way. They're still a pretty damn good fund. So if you bought at 50 at launch, you're making that bank. Again, their IV estimate shows to be 76 cents. Their last payment last week was 73. So I think they're going to pay. I'm going to give them 77. I'm going to give them a penny more because I look at it. Look at they went up in $1.56 in freaking share price. They might give a damn dollar. They could, but again, since it's weekly now, I'm going to think that there's going to be nothing fancy, nothing like no shockers per se. All right, let me just double check in the comments. Where are we at here? I just want to make sure there's no issues. Misty. All right. Yeah, I can't see your comments unless I go back. So Plady is paying Plady's, great fun, man. Great fun. All right. So what do we got here? AMZY, they paid 9 cents last week and they went up in share price. If you look over here by 44 cents. Let's see if they made any money. And they did not. In fact, they lost 2 cents, realized loss of 2 cents per share, but that's not going to do anything for us. So their IV estimate shows to be 10 cents. I'm going to give them 11. I'll give them a penny more. Technically, it does round to 11 anyway. So we're going to give them 11 cents. That would be a boost from last week because they did pay 9 cents last week. Now, if we look at SMCY, how you doing? They went down in share price by $1.90. We go to the realized to section. We can see if they made any money. Again, on the realized income side, they did make 9 cents per share. All right. So if we go back here and we see their IV estimate is 21 cents. Their last week payment was 24 cents. So my guess is they would probably land in the middle. So it's 22 or 23. I'm going to give them 22 cents. That would be an 81% yielder. All right. Now, hoo-wee, oh man, they went up $1.38 per share in share price. Again, I'm looking over here in case you're wondering. Column BN shows the increase in share price. But again, I'm doing Monday to the Friday close, Monday open to Friday close. I'm thinking I should just do Friday close to Friday close. I don't know why I'm doing Monday, but there must have been a reason. I'm just drawing. I'm freaking brain dead at the moment. Long weekend, but let's see. They went up $1.38. Let's see what the realized income is. Let's see over here. We got 29 cents. All right, so they made 29 cents per share. I gotta move. This is so annoying that I have to scroll. I gotta move this, I think, away. Get that out of the way. There you go. Well, no, we want to do this. There you go. I don't know. For now. All right. So that way we won't have to scroll as much. All right. So what the heck were we talking about? HOOY. So yeah, their last payment was 73. Their IV estimate showing 91. Oh man. Wow. I don't know, man. Do I give them 90? Damn, bruh. What let me see what the last one before that was. That was a 4 weeker though, 5.94. Damn, bruh. All right. I'm not gonna have any shame giving them 92 cents. I'm getting they're getting it. They're getting it. It is what it is. They went up $1.38. They could pay a dollar. They may pay a dollar actually. So don't be surprised if they do. All right, AMDY. Again, this is sorted by assets under management because so we're doing the most popular first. That way, for the Misty people that only care about Misty, they're probably gone. They left. They left the house. They moved on. So I'm doing it, popularity first, and then we'll go from there. All right, now we'll do the next chunkers. All right, these were like the most popular kids right there. And now here are like the semi-popular kids. AMDY, how you doing? They went up 24 cents per share. And AMDY, let's see where you at here. They made 4 cents per share. Is that a lot of money? See, now I'm still scrolling. What is going on? No, it's not actually. They paid 19 cents last week. Their IV estimate sits at 12 cents. So I'm going to give him a penny more. Actually, I want to give him like 14. Yeah, I'm going to give him 14. I don't know because that last week payment, it's looking at me. Plus, they did go up 24 cents per share. So yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. All right. Anyway, let's move on. GDXY. They paid 14 cents last week. They lost. They moved down in share price $1.59. So we're talking GDXY. Let's see if they made any money. They did make 5 cents per share, but I don't think that's gonna do anything for us. Let's go back. So what do we got here? So again, we have to gonna default to the IV. The IV shows 13 cents. So it's either they pay 13 or they keep it in sync. Consistent. I think consistency is the key word here. And I think that's what they're going to go for. I really do. So I would like to see GDXY consistent and keep a 14-cent payment, 46% yielder. All right, GUI. Hi, GUI. All right, GUI, how you doing? This is, again, fund. Been around a while, sitting at the $13 range. They went up 5 cents per share. That's not really anything to get too excited about. Realized loss. They lost 7 cents per share. All right, so that means we're pretty much just going to default to the IV, right? So what is the IV? Let's see. The IV is showing 10 cents per share. Oh my goodness, they paid 20 cents per share last week. Oh, what intonation? All right. Not going to be fooled by that. Not going to do it. I don't get it, but maybe they were super volatile last. I'm giving 11 cents. All right, I won't do 10. I'll give them 11. Almost a 50% cut. Again, we just talked about consistency. This is not consistent. I'm not giving them 20 cents. There's no way. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right, Phoebe, how you doing? They paid 13 cents last week. Their IV looking at 12. They went up 17 cents per share. Let's see if they made the money. Here comes the money. Here we go. Money. Dollars. They did not. They did not make any money. So no Shane McMahon today. 12 cents versus 13. I'm going to give them 13. I like consistency again, except for GUI. Aptly, how you doing? They paid 11 cents last week. Their IV estimate is at 6 cents. They did move up 17 cents per share. Okay, so now we go to this file, see if they actually made a realized income. They did not. They lost 2 cents per share. So we will go back to GuesstiMania file, and we're going to say, okay, maybe they'll pay 7 cents. Maybe they'll pay 11 cents. So they're like going back and forth in the middle. I'll give them a penny more than that. I'm going to give them 8 cents. I'm not going to give them 11 or 10 or whatever. But they did go up 17 cents per share, so do not be surprised if they do pay 11 again. That is a possibility, but I'm not doing it. All right, let's go. Let's scroll. We're getting there. Again, we're not gonna. There's a point down here where I already filled them in, and I'm just gonna read them off. So don't worry, it's not gonna be the long ass video. And I'm thinking that's gonna be kind of how it is, right? Because I'm still thinking these are the funds that people want to see, like MSFO. Yeah, it's not as popular as Misty, but it's MSFO. It's Microsoft, brah. All right, they paid 7 cents last week. The IV estimate is showing 9 cents. They did go up 13 cents per share. If you go to the realized income, where are you at here? There you go. They lost 3 cents per share. Okay. So we'll go back to the GuesstiMania tab and we will simply look now. They're going to pay more than last week. That's how I'm looking at this. I think they'll pay either 9 cents or 10 cents. Since they only paid 7 cents last week, I don't want to give them 10. I want to give them 9. So that's a 9-cent payment, 26% yielder. All right. Nestle paid 10 cents last week. They're looking at an IV estimate of 8. They went down in share price by $1.29. As far as the realized income, we're looking at an income of 7 cents per share. So what does that mean? Well, again, they paid 10 cents. So we look now at the IV estimate versus the last week payment, kind of in the middle, right? Could be 8, could be 10. You know, it could go either way. I think 8 cents is still reasonable. I'm not gonna give them that penny raise. 28% yield. Actually, yeah, it comes to a 28%. Their IV is 29. Should I give them that? There's gonna 8. 8. That's it. 8. All right. Ybit. They paid 8 cents last week. Their IV estimate sits at 7 cents, even though that rounds to 8 technically. And guess what? They moved up in share price by 8 cents. Good Lord. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. We got Ybit down here. They did make 5 cents per share. Realized income again. Not counting unrealized, whatever's in the fund. We're not doing that anymore. In fact, that should be pretty much captured under the gains per share column because that's the movement, right? So if there is unrealized, technically most of that should be visual there. All right. Anyway, 8 cents, 8 cents, 8 cents it is. That's pretty easy. All right. Mavro paid 36 cents last week. Their IV estimate sitting at 32. But share price per share, they did move down $1.01. So now what do? We go to the realized income just to see if there's any surprises there, any bank bro, anything special. They did make 23 cents per share. So that's pretty good. That's not bad. But that's less than the IV estimate. So again, that's not going to really change our mind per se. So I'm going to go with the IV estimate. I'm going to round it up though to 33 because it is Marrow. True degenerate play. Anything Bitcoin related, kind of a degen play, right? All right. Anyway, Murney. Oh man, I love doing Murney though. It's going to get fun. All right. So because they're 2 cents, they paid 2 cents last week. Their IV estimate is 2 cents. They went up in share price 1 cent. How much did they make? How much did they make? They made Oh, I love it. They made 1 cent. This is getting close every week. It's like boom, 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 boom. What's going to happen? They get to a penny. When they get to a penny, they can't go any lower. They can't pay a freaking fraction of a damn penny. They're going to have to reverse split. They're going to have to. I mean, they're at $1, so they're $1.67. So this is going to be the next one, either that or what is it? What's the other one? AIYY is pretty close too, but yeah. Anyway, they're not paying 1 cent. It's not happening yet. It's still at the 2 penny range. So yeah, 2 cents. That's a 62% yield. All right. Well, the IV is actually 79. Wow. I'm not giving them 3 cents though. They're not getting 3 cents from me. All right. So here now you can see, this is it. This is the last ones that we do manually. So next up is OARC. All right. Their last week payment was 8 cents. Their IV estimate sits at 7, and they did go up gains per share 8 cents per share. All right. So now we go over here. We just see is there any realized income? Did you make any money? No, we did not. No realized income. All right, so nothing there. So we go back here now, and what do you do? What do you say? Where the hell are we? Okay, so yeah, 8 cents. They're getting 8 cents. Consistency is key. All right, here's another oddball AIYY. They paid 2 cents last week. IV estimate sitting at 3, and share price they did move down 7 cents per share. If you go to the realized income, we got to go way to the top, alphabetical order. They did make about a penny, so that's good, I guess. Good. Well, for them, a penny's a lot. So again, it's the question of what are they going to pay? It's looking like 3 cents, to be honest. Because if you look what they paid last time, it was 0.0288. So I'm just going to give them I'm not trying to go out multiple decimals, but Whatever. All right. SNOY, how you doing? They paid 14 cents last week. IV estimate sitting at 15 cents. And then oh, damn, gains per share, 51 cents. That's pretty nice. But let's see if they made any income, any realized income to be paid out. No, they lost 12 cents per share. In case you're wondering, are you wondering? Are you there? Are you still awake? Anyway, I should probably check on the chat in a sec, but I'm almost done, so I'll check after. So Snoy, what the heck we doing? Yeah, that I think they're going to pay more than last week. They're around, again, their IV is 15. We can give, I think it's 16 or 17 cents would be fair. Let's give them 17 cents. You know, we're feeling generous on Snoy because again, they did go up 51 cents, but you know, 50 cents. Sometimes you just got to give a little extra to certain ones. Snoy, I feel like I always lowball Snoy. All right, CVNY, they paid 40 cents last week. Oh, damn. Look at their IV estimate, 63. And they went up $1.15 per share. Okay, this may be the big timer this week. Let's see what they made in realized income. Holy moly, 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 moly. 47 cents per share. All right, 47 cents. How does that go into this? Let's see. Well, they're made more than what they paid last week. So, and I'm gonna give them at least their IV. I'm gonna round that up to 64 cents. I mean, why the hell not, right? They did go up $1.15 per share. That's a massive increase. That's a big increase from last week. Again, that should scare me that they only paid 40 cents last week. So how can I give them 64? But the numbers are the numbers, bruh. I don't know what to tell you. All right, TSMY, they paid 33 cents last week, which again, that they were the surprise last week, I think, from what I recall. IV estimate sits at 12 cents. Why? Yeah. Oh no, I got rid of the actual yield. Yeah, so IV estimate sits at 12 cents and price movement, they did lose 67 cents per share. So how much did they make? They made 6 cents per share. Okay. So all things considered now, let's see. Does that matter? No, that 6 cents doesn't do anything. And last week's payment is going to be, one and done. So let's not expect that again. They are guesstimated at 12 cents. So I'm going to give them 13 just because I'll give them a penny more only because they did that massive payment last week. All right, XYZY, they're looking at 10 cents. They paid 10 cents last week and they made 15 cents. All right. So all around the same range. And then you see here, they lost about 9 cents per share. But that's not going to change our mind. I think 10 cents is the magic number. So let's go with 10 cents. That would be a 57% yield. All right. Babo is next. They paid 30 cents last week. Their IV estimate is looking at 16 cents, super low. But they did make 28 cents per share. They moved up 28 cents per share. Now let's go here. And they did not make any money. So that's not going to really help us, do anything. But we will go back here now. And we're probably just going to default. Well, they did make 28 cents per share. So I'll give them like 17 cents right there. That would be a 54% yielder. JPMO, they made 8 cents. Oh, no, they paid 8 cents last week. Their IV estimate sits at 7 cents, and they had gone down in share price by about 12 cents. Now, if we go here, we could see how much money they made. They made about 3 cents per share. There should be no other way, right? Yep. All right. So that's, 3 cents per share. That's not going to really do anything. So again, kind of default to what they've been paying, 8 cents or it's a 7 or 8er, consistency is key. We'll give them 8. Yeah, give them 8. Screw it. 8. Big bank, big bank. All right, now we're going to kind of go fast through this. Let me just get a sip of water real quick. Actually, let me check the chat. Had a question. Oh, you had a question for Ambassador. All right. I don't think there's any questions for me, but I will take questions at the end in case anyone has any. All right, let's go back to the file. All right, so here we go. Zomo, 7 cents, 30% yielder. All right. PP, 9 cents, 45% yielder. Winter, 38 cents, 64% yielder. Fiat, 3 cents, 65% yielder. RDYY 75 cents, 90% yielder. All right, 8 cents for Disso, 33% yield. Berk C, 13 cents, 14% yield. Circle, $1.04. Here you go, 100%er, 100%er. Why? I don't know, because they had a good freaking week, right? But anyway, 114% yielder there. Robley, 69 cents, 76% yielder. A, B, and Y, 11 cents, 58% yield. Dr. Dre says, nothing needed. Dr. Dre locked in my basement. 45 cents, 67% yield. GMEY, GameStoppy, 48 cents, 53% yield. HIYY, 72 cents, 94% yield. Crash into me. 3 cents, 52% yield. YQQQ, 5 cents, 20% yielder. And dippity doo da, dippity day, 4 cents, 36% yield. All right, we made it through the suckers. We made it. 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 Okay. Now what? Now nothing. Now we just go to the comments and we could pretty much call it a day. But yeah, if you had a question for Ambassador, just go on Twitter and ask him. He's not usually up the crack of dawn like us maniacs. So all right, what else we got here? Any questions before we head out? Again, I'm sorry, it's a short one. Every video is short this weekend. Actually, I'm at 42 minutes, so it's not that short. But yeah, thank you all for being here. We got about 385 live on X and YouTube. I know crack of dawn Sunday morning, but yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Thank you. Mr. Fantastic Hero is the man. He always reposts the streams on X. I appreciate that. So if any of you guys are on X, reposting this stream does go a long way. It helps me out. Helps new people, find out. So 45 minutes later. I love when LA does he does on his videos. I love it. It's hilarious. But what else? We got anything else here? I don't think I got anything. Nothing to share. But I don't know. All right. So any surprises on the guesstimates? Did any of them make you happy? A lot of funds paying less than 10 cents. Oh, it's weekly though, man. You got to keep that into consideration. Plus, what were they paying before, right? We got to think of it that way. If they're paying like 40 cents or less, and of course, yeah, they're going to pay less than 10 cents. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have the Monday morning show with Corey. I'm just waiting on some confirmation still, unfortunately, but we'll see. It should be good to go. But if anything changes, I will let you know. Either way, I'm going live one way or the other. So what else we got? I got nothing. I really got nothing. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, right? Thumbs up on YouTube. I know I got to do that in the beginning again because I feel like my YouTube videos aren't getting around as much as they used to. So I gotta up my game and just start to beg for likes more, maybe. Please like the video. All right. What else? And then yeah, like if you're on X, you could just repost it. But yeah, keyword time, exactly. So what is the keyword? If you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. Oh, my back is killing me. I can't wait to get home and be in my normal setup. But what the heck is the keyword today? Yeah, I got no miles, brother. I don't even have my running stuff, unfortunately. So just fat for me, fat weekend, just what I need. Anyway, keyword under one. That's all we got. I got one keyword under one. And well, not everything's under one though, right? What do we got? You guys got nothing for me? Nothing? Man, you guys have been it's been quiet lately. It's a quiet weekend. It's quiet. I'm gonna have to think of something. Keyword HOOY. No miles. That's a good keyword. No miles. Or how about keyword fat? Pay the piper, this guy, and his wrestling impersonations. But we'll do it next week. Pay the piper, but you got to get here earlier. I'll do it in the beginning if you're here. Deal? Average down, move it. Jim Duggan. All right, I could do him. He's easy. Ho! All right. You got one in for the day. 10 cent, keyword 10 cent. Keyword 10 cent. Huh? All right, that's what you guys say. You guys rule here. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. It's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the Dusty Rhodes says 10 cents. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta type in 10 freaking cents. Because again, yeah, a lot of them are paying around 10 cents. 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent. Maybe I'll just put 10 cent for everyone, and that's it. The video will be done in 2 seconds. All right. Anyway, I'm out of here. I had enough of back-breaking video content, but we'll get back to normal this upcoming week. But hopefully you guys still had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, then I don't know. There's the inspector. Good morning, ETF inspector. Go give him a shout out. Go check out his YouTube, how much money he made. See if he got a raise or not. Seems like we're all getting pay cuts though over here in the YouTube space. But you know, that means you got to hit the like button more, right? Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm done. Yip yapping. Big fantasy game for me this week. Fantasy football. I know. I don't really care as much anymore, but sometimes it is fun. But I'm out of here. 10 cents is the key word. Thank you for watching and have a good Sunday. Later.